The evening sky was painted with soft streaks of orange and purple as Jack's rill wiped the grease from his hands. The workshop smelled of metal, oil, and the faint tang of burned circuits, a familiar, comforting scent. Jax had been working on a hoverbike engine all day, trying to make it run smoother for the next market delivery. The quiet hum of machinery was broken only by the occasional crack of thunder in the distance. Suddenly, a shadow passed overhead. Jax squinted, frowning. "That's too big to be a bird," he muttered to himself. The shadow grew larger, faster, until a sound like a thunderclap shook the ground. Something massive crashed into the field just beyond his workshop. Jax grabbed a flashlight and ran outside, heart pounding. What he saw made him stop dead in his tracks. A huge creature lay in the tall grass, its scales shimmering in colors he had never seen. Deep violet, neon blue, and hints of molten gold that shifted with the fading sunlight. It looked like a dragon, but unlike anything from the holo books of Earth legends. Its wings were torn, one clawed hand buried in the soil, and a trail of strange bioluminescent blood glowed faintly on the ground. Jax's first thought was disbelief. His second was fear. But before he could take a step back, a smaller creature, equally strange but clearly alive, crawled beside the larger one. It had eyes that glowed like soft lanterns and scales that sparkled like wet jewels. It looked at Jax directly, not with fear, but with a quiet plea. And then, Jax heard it not with his ears, but in his mind. A voice, calm but urgent, spoke clearly. "Humyn, you must help. My mate, dying. Only you can save them." Jax stumbled back, clutching his head. The voice was not loud, but it resonated in his mind with clarity and emotion. His rational mind wanted to scream, "I'm crazy!" But something in the dragon's eyes kept him rooted. I don't know what I can do," he whispered aloud. "I'm just a mechanic. I fix engines, not dragons. You can help. You must. We do not have time." The smaller dragon's glow pulsed with each word, and Jax felt a strange warmth spreading through his chest. There was no time to argue. No time to think. Something in him, curiosity, courage, or maybe just empathy, pushed him forward. He approached the larger dragon cautiously. Its chest rose and fell in shallow, uneven breaths. Jax's hands trembled as he examined the injuries. One wing was ripped almost completely from its joint, the membrane shredded. Deep gashes ran along its side, and a strange, golden blood oozed from the wounds, glowing faintly before fading. I've never seen anything like this," he muttered. He pulled out his medkit, more used to patching up miners and hoverbike riders than interstellar dragons. He carefully applied antiseptic, trying not to panic. The smaller dragon moved closer, touching the tip of its snout to Jax's arm. Another wave of thought reached him. The blood is alive, but it can heal. It needs stabilization. You can help me merge technology with life. Please. Jax's mind raced. Merge technology with life? The dragon was asking him to do something impossible, at least by human standards. Yet he looked into its glowing eyes and knew there was no other choice. He would try. He had to try. He dragged the larger dragon slowly toward his workshop, grunting as he worked. Its weight was enormous, but its body seemed lighter than it should have been. Perhaps it was the strange, almost magical quality of its life force. Inside the workshop, Jax cleared space near the workbench. He placed the dragon carefully, using old scaffolding and straps to support its weight. Sparks flew as he activated lights and heaters, trying to make the room suitable for alien biology. He had no instructions, no guidance, only a strong sense that failure meant death for this magnificent creature. The smaller dragon hovered above, emitting a soft, humming light. Its wings beat weakly, stirring the air like a gentle fan. It spoke again, slow and deliberate. Use your machines, your tools, your mind. Combine. Combine what is human with what is dragon. Jax took a deep breath. He had always loved challenges. He had fixed broken engines that others had given up on. He had repaired spacecraft engines with parts he had to invent himself. Maybe this was just another puzzle. He started with simple things. Sensors and scanners from old medical equipment, combined with mechanical stabilizers from hover bikes. He created a makeshift life support rig, attaching wires and glowing conduits to the dragon's scales. Every movement was careful. Every touch was delicate. The dragon flinched once, but then relaxed, almost as if it understood that Jax's hands were safe. Hours passed. The sky darkened outside, stars beginning to shine. Jax worked tirelessly, taking short breaks only to drink water or stretch. He communicated with the smaller dragon as best he could. It offered guidance in bursts of mental images, flows of energy, currents of life. Directions on how to attach devices without causing pain. At one point, the larger dragon twitched violently, letting out a deep, rumbling groan that shook the workshop. Jax froze, panicked. "No! No! Stay with me!" he shouted. He adjusted a stabilizer, praying it would help. Slowly, the breathing became steadier. A faint glow returned to the dragon's eyes. Relief washed over him. So strong, he felt like he could collapse. The smaller dragon circled the workshop, its wings casting shimmering patterns on the walls. "You understand more than you know," it said softly. "The bond strengthens, the mind and the hands, together." Jax wiped sweat from his forehead and looked at the creatures in awe. They were not just animals. They were intelligent, emotional, and, somehow, connected to him now. He had saved a life, but in doing so, he had entered a world far beyond human experience. As midnight approached, the larger dragon finally began to rest, its breathing deep and more regular. The makeshift life support rig hummed softly, stabilizing its injuries. Jax leaned back against the wall, exhausted but exhilarated. He had done the impossible. The smaller dragon landed on the workbench beside him, glowing softly. "Humyn, your courage, your mind, your heart, you have saved us. We are grateful. Number. Jax chuckled, still panting. "I didn't do it alone. You helped me. In ways I can't explain. I don't even know how you talk to me. We speak, as we must. We see potential, where others see only flesh. You are extraordinary, Humyn." For the first time, Jax felt something swell in his chest, pride, but also wonder. He had always believed humans were clever, adaptable, strong in spirit. And now, for the first time, he felt that in the vast universe, humans could stand beside creatures far greater than themselves, not with brute force, but with ingenuity, heart, and courage. Outside, the first light of dawn crept over the horizon. The massive dragon stirred gently, eyes opening with a soft, luminescent glow. It looked at Jax, and for a moment, words were not needed. Gratitude, trust, and a strange new connection passed silently between them. Jax smiled, brushing his hands on his coveralls. "I don't know what comes next, but I think we're going to find out." Above the horizon, the wind carried a distant roar, a call that sounded both alien and ancient. Jax felt a thrill run through him. The adventure had only just begun, and somewhere in the back of his mind, he knew this was not just about dragons. This was about humans, about what they could do when they refused to give up, when they faced the impossible, when they dared to reach for the stars. The dragons had arrived, and Jax Rill, human mechanic, was ready. The morning sun spilled across the workshop, lighting up the strange, glowing patterns of the dragon's scales. Jax had slept little, his mind racing with questions he didn't even know how to ask. He leaned against the workbench, watching the smaller dragon circle the injured one, its soft, luminescent glow pulsing like a heartbeat. "Humyn, you have done more than save life," the small dragon said, voice gentle but insistent. "Now, you must understand. Healing is more than repair. It is balance, energy, connection." Jax frowned. He scratched his head. "Not magic. Science. Life. You can understand. You must try." The smaller dragon hovered closer, letting its glowing eyes scan Jax like a living projector of thoughts. Slowly, images formed in his mind, flows of glowing veins inside the dragon, a circulation of light and warmth, a network of energy he had never seen before. It moved like liquid fire inside the creature, pulsing and bending to its will. Jax stared, captivated. You're showing me your energy system?" "Yes, it is how we live, how we heal. If disrupted, we suffer, we die. But it can be guided, assisted by your machines." Jax nodded slowly, the cogs in his mind turning. Machines. He could work with machines. If he could somehow read and amplify this energy, stabilize it with technology, he might be able to save the larger dragon completely. He began carefully examining the dragon's body, using his scanners to measure temperature, pulse, and the unusual luminescent energy. The readings were unlike anything he had ever seen. Electrical currents fluctuated in harmony with the dragon's breathing. Jax noted each change, each pulse, and slowly began adjusting the mechanical stabilizers he had built the night before. "Okay," he muttered, talking aloud to organize his thoughts. "If this energy is like a flowing current, maybe I can channel it, guide it, without harming it." The smaller dragon hovered closer, nodding slowly. "Yes. Guide. Do not control. Respect the flow, and it will respond." Hours passed. Jax worked with careful precision, attaching bioelectric conduits to the larger dragon's scales, connecting them to sensors and stabilizers. He improvised constantly, using parts from hoverbikes, old medical devices, and whatever scraps he could find in his workshop. Each adjustment brought a small improvement. The larger dragon's breathing became steadier. Its eyes glimmered with life. By mid-afternoon, the smaller dragon hovered next to him. "Humyn, you learn fast, but you must also understand our bond. Healing is stronger when bond is involved." Jax tilted his head. "Bond? You mean, like between you two?" "Yes, mates. We are linked. Pain, joy, life, shared. Healing one affects the other. If balance is restored, both will survive." Jax thought about that. He had never seen such a connection before, not even in humans. Love, companionship, loyalty. It was all familiar. Yet here it was magnified into something physical, almost tangible. He realized that this bond wasn't just emotional. It was biological, energetic. He paused, watching the smaller dragon nuzzle the injured one. A glow passed between them, subtle but unmistakable. He adjusted the stabilizers, trying to match the rhythm of their shared energy. Slowly, steadily, the injured dragon's breathing deepened. Its color shifted from pale violet to a brighter, vibrant hue. Jax allowed himself a small smile. "Looks like it's working." Yes. But caution. Energy is strong, volatile. If misused, harm comes." Jax nodded. He had learned long ago that caution saved lives. In the scrapyards and hoverbike races, one mistake could be fatal. Here, the stakes were much higher. He worked late into the evening, observing, adjusting, and listening to the telepathic guidance of the smaller dragon. Despite the exhaustion, he felt alive in a way he had never known. Each improvement, each small response from the larger dragon, gave him hope. Humanity's strength, he realized, lay not just in physical power, but in ingenuity, patience, and courage. As night fell, the stars gleamed overhead, and the hum of the workshop mixed with the soft, rhythmic breathing of the recovering dragon. Jack stepped back for a moment, wiping sweat from his brow. "I never thought I'd be doing this," he muttered. "Not in a million years." The smaller dragon hovered near him, its glow softening. "Humyn, you have courage, curiosity, and heart. These make you extraordinary. Do not forget." Jax chuckled. "I think I'm starting to understand what you mean. This isn't just about fixing a dragon. It's about understanding something completely new." The dragons shifted slightly, settling more comfortably in the workshop. For the first time, Jax noticed the subtle beauty of the larger dragon's scales. Each scale shimmered like liquid crystal, reflecting the workshop lights in patterns that seemed almost intentional, almost intelligent. He reached out, brushing a finger along one. A warmth pulsed through his hand, not painful, not shocking, just alive. "See? We are life. More than flesh, more than scales, energy, thought, bond," the smaller dragon said. Jax nodded slowly, awestruck. "I've fixed engines, ships, even old circuits that were thought dead. But this is different. I feel like I'm learning. More than I ever thought I could. Yes, humans, underestimated, but capable, potential, great, when combined with courage and heart." Jax smiled, a sense of pride swelling inside him. Humans may not have the physical power of dragons, but they had creativity, intellect, and persistence. That combination could achieve wonders. Hours passed, and slowly, the larger dragon began to move slightly, testing its wings. It let out a low, rumbling sound, a mixture of relief and pain. Jax adjusted the stabilizers immediately. "Easy, easy. You're doing great," he encouraged. The smaller dragon hovered close, glowing softly. "See, Humyn, understanding is working, healing is beginning. Soon, strength will return. But danger exists. Others seek us for power, for energy, for control." Jax froze. "Others? You mean hunters? People who want to take you?" "Yes. Across stars, we are rare, valuable. Some will stop at nothing to claim what is not theirs. You must be ready, must protect." Jax's jaw tightened. He had faced danger before: pirates, wild animals, faulty machinery, but nothing like this. Yet, a strange confidence settled over him. He had faced the impossible already by saving this dragon. Protecting them? He could do it. He had to. Night deepened outside. The workshop glowed with the gentle light of the dragons. Jax worked on enhancing the stabilizers, combining them with makeshift shields and sensors. He experimented, tested, and learned, guided by the small dragon's telepathy. By the end of the night, he had created a hybrid system, part technology, part bioenergy, all designed to keep the dragons safe and strong. Exhausted, he leaned against the wall, staring at the creatures in wonder. "I never imagined my life would turn into this, helping dragons survive, learning to work with their energy, facing dangers I can't even see yet." The smaller dragon perched near him, its eyes soft. "Humyn, your mind, your hands, your courage have changed the course of our lives. You are not ordinary. You are remarkable, and soon the bond will strengthen, the healing will complete, and the world will see human potential, true and great. Jax smiled softly, a warmth spreading through his chest. He had always believed humans were capable, resilient, and brave. Now, he saw it proven not through strength alone, but through intelligence, heart, and the willingness to face the unknown. Outside, the first light of dawn began to creep over the horizon. Somewhere in the distance, a faint roar echoed through the valley, a sound both alien and ancient. Jax's pulse quickened. He knew the roar was a warning, a promise, or perhaps a challenge. He wiped his hands and straightened. "I don't know what comes next," he said quietly, "but I think, whatever it is, we can face it together." The dragons stirred gently, the larger one moving with more strength, the smaller one glowing proudly. For the first time, Jax felt that he wasn't just a human mechanic in a small workshop. He was part of something much larger, a bond that crossed species, worlds, and the very limits of imagination. And he knew, deep down, that the adventure had only just begun. The morning air was crisp, carrying the scent of wildflowers and ozone from the storm that had passed the night before. Jax Rill had barely slept. Though the dragons rested, his mind buzzed with plans, calculations, and questions. The larger dragon had regained some strength, testing its wings carefully, while the smaller one hovered close, glowing faintly with energy. "Human, soon. Danger approaches," the smaller dragon warned, its voice echoing in Jax's mind. "They come for us. Others, not like you, seeking what is rare, what is powerful." Jax frowned, tightening his grip on the wrench he carried. "Hunters?" he asked. "Like space pirates?" "Yes, and worse. They seek to capture, to take energy, life, control. You must be ready. You must protect." Jax's heart pounded, but he felt no fear. Fear had no place here. He had faced impossible machines, failing engines, and life or death repairs. And now he faced beings who underestimated humans completely. That underestimation, that would be their mistake. Hours later, as the sun climbed high, a shadow passed over the workshop. Jax looked up and froze. 3 sleek, metallic ships hovered above the valley, their engines silent but menacing. The pilots inside were aliens tall, armored, and armed with technology that could strip a building to the ground in seconds. "They are here," the small dragon said quietly. "Prepare yourself, human." Jax didn't move. He felt the dragon's energy radiating around him, strong but still recovering. He had one advantage: his mind and his machines. And he would use both. He moved quickly, thinking faster than ever before. The workshop was small, cluttered, but it had tools, scrap metal, and old hoverbike parts. He started assembling traps, wires connected to makeshift electric coils, sensors rigged to trip alarms, automated mechanical arms that could throw obstacles. Every device was jury-rigged, improvised, but effective. Human. Clever. Ingenuity is human strength. They will underestimate you, and that will save you. The ships descended, kicking up dust and small rocks. The alien hunters disembarked, moving with silent precision. Their eyes glowed faintly, scanning for the dragons. Jax stayed behind the workshop, holding a plasma torch like a sword. "Wait. Patience. Timing," the small dragon advised. "Observe. Learn. Act." The hunters split, moving carefully toward the glowing dragons. Their movements were confident, mechanical. But Jax noticed something. They assumed the dragons were weak, injured, They didn't account for humans, especially humans with intelligence, creativity, and courage. Jax held his breath. Then, he acted. A wire snapped, releasing a jolt of electricity that arced toward the nearest hunter. It staggered back, caught off guard. Another mechanical arm flung a heavy metal crate, knocking a second hunter sideways. Jax ran, activating a series of traps he had prepared around the workshop. Sparks flew, alarms blared, and the hunters froze in confusion. Yes, yes, use your mind. Use what humans can do, the small dragon encouraged. They rely on power, you rely on ingenuity. Jax smiled grimly. They had underestimated him. The human strength was never in raw power. They were survivors, thinkers, problem solvers. And he intended to prove it. The hunters regrouped, realizing the humans were not as helpless as they assumed. They advanced again, more cautiously this time. But Jax had prepared for that too. He led them through a gauntlet of traps, electrified nets, swinging scrap metal, and automated projectiles that forced them to pause at every step. Meanwhile, the larger dragon had regained enough strength to lift its head and roar. The sound shook the valley, a deep, resonant vibration that echoed off the cliffs. The hunters flinched, their sensors scrambling to recalibrate. The roar was not just sound, it was a warning, a message of power and resilience. Humyn, courage. Now, the small dragon urged. Jax ran toward the larger dragon, grabbing a bundle of conduits and sensors. He attached a few modifications, allowing the dragon to channel some of its energy through the workshop devices. The resulting glow was blinding, illuminating the valley in colors that made the hunters shield their eyes. The energy wasn't dangerous, it wasn't meant to kill, but it was enough to overwhelm the advanced sensors of the alien hunters, causing confusion and hesitation. Jax's ingenuity, combined with the dragon's natural energy, created a defense they hadn't expected. The hunters regrouped, but Jax had one more advantage. He had observed them carefully. Their armor had weak points at the joints, and their energy weapons were designed to strike predictable targets. Using this knowledge, he triggered a final trap, a combination of pulsing light, energy redirection, and mechanical obstacles that forced the hunters to retreat. Yes, Humyn. You have shown strength beyond flesh. You have shown wisdom and courage, the small dragon said, landing on the workbench beside him. Jax wiped sweat from his forehead, chest heaving. They're gone. For now. He looked at the dragons, feeling a mix of relief and pride. I didn't just save one of you. I protected both of you. Together. The larger dragon stretched its wings, testing them carefully. Its movements were more confident now, more powerful. It gave a low rumble, almost like a growl of approval. Jax smiled. He could see the bond between the dragons strengthening with every passing moment, their shared energy stabilizing and growing. Humyn, your ingenuity, your courage, your heart, have made this possible. We could not have survived without you, the smaller dragon said. Jax shook his head, laughing softly. I didn't do it alone. You guided me, taught me, trusted me. That counts too. The small dragon's glow pulsed brighter, almost like a heartbeat. Trust, life, courage, humans, underestimated, but remarkable. The valley was quiet again, except for the soft hum of the workshop machines and the steady breathing of the larger dragon. Jax leaned against the wall, exhausted but exhilarated. He had faced the impossible, defended against alien hunters, and succeeded using nothing but his mind, courage, and creativity. He realized something important. Humans could do amazing things when they refused to give up, when they used their intelligence, and when they acted with heart. The galaxy might underestimate them, but that underestimation was their strength. Outside, the wind carried a faint roar, a distant echo that seemed to promise more challenges ahead. Jax tightened his grip on his tools. "I don't know who will come next," he said quietly. "But I know this. Humans can face it. We can adapt. We can survive. And we can protect what we care about." The dragons shifted slightly, the larger one stretching fully and giving a satisfied rumble. Its mate hovered near, glowing softly. Together, they looked at Jax not just as a mechanic, but as an ally, a friend, and a protector. Jax smiled, feeling a sense of pride he had never known. He had been an ordinary human, living in a small workshop, repairing engines and bikes. Now, he was part of something greater. He was part of a bond that crossed species, worlds, and limits he had never imagined. Humyn, the universe, will see your kind, and they will learn. Strength is not only in power, it is in heart, in mind, in courage, the smaller dragon said softly. Jax nodded, looking at the glowing creatures. "Then let them learn. Let them see what humans can do." The valley was calm now, but Jax knew it was only temporary. The galaxy was wide, full of dangers and challenges, but he felt ready. With his mind, his courage, and the dragons by his side, he could face anything. And deep down, he knew this was only the beginning. The hunters had underestimated humans. They had underestimated Jax, and that would be a mistake they would never forget. The valley was quiet after the skirmish, but Jax Rill didn't rest. The larger dragon had survived the attack, but its body was still weak, and its energy fluctuated in strange pulses. Jax studied the creatures carefully, taking notes, adjusting machines, and listening to the guidance of the smaller dragon. "Humyn, energy stabilizes, but strength is low. We need more connection, fusion, with your machines," the small dragon said, its glow brighter than ever. Jax nodded, feeling a mixture of awe and determination. "Fusion, connection. I understand. We need to work together. Not just me, not just you, all of us." He began to assemble new devices from scratch, using scraps, wires, sensors, and energy conduits. The goal was simple in theory, but complex in practice: to merge human technology with the dragon's natural energy system. The challenge was immense. One wrong calculation could destabilize the dragon completely. "Yes, careful, balance, feel the flow, do not force," the smaller dragon warned. Jax took a deep breath, steadying his hands. He attached the first set of conduits to the larger dragon, connecting its natural bioenergy channels to a series of glowing devices he had created. The devices pulsed in time with the dragon's heartbeat, amplifying and stabilizing its energy. At first, the dragon's body shivered violently, and Jax froze, heart racing. "Not forcing. Guide. Gentle," the small dragon instructed. He adjusted the flow, letting the energy move naturally, following the dragon's rhythm rather than imposing his own. Slowly, the shivers stopped, and a steady glow spread across the scales. The larger dragon opened its eyes fully for the first time in days, vibrant light streaming from them. Jax stepped back, awestruck. It's working. You're strong. Stronger than I imagined." "Yes. Connection. Fusion. Life flows together. We feel strength. We feel bond," the smaller dragon said. The larger dragon shifted slightly, testing its wings. Its movements were more confident now, more controlled. It lifted its massive body slowly, standing with renewed power. Sparks of golden energy shimmered across its scales, flowing through the machines Jax had connected. Jax's heart raced with excitement. This is beyond anything I've ever done or seen. It's amazing. Humyn, you have done more than repair. You have enhanced. You have transformed. Life. Stronger. Because of courage. Because of heart. Because of mind. The smaller dragon said softly. Jax smiled, wiping sweat from his brow. He had always believed humans were clever and capable, but now he truly understood the potential of ingenuity combined with empathy and determination. Humans could face the impossible, and not just survive, they could create miracles. The larger dragon stretched its wings, and the light pulsed stronger with each beat. Jax realized something incredible. The machines were not controlling the dragon. They were amplifying what was already there, enhancing natural energy without interfering. It was perfect harmony. 1. Now, strength returns. Bond strengthens. Life grows. You have done this. Together, the small dragon said. Jax nodded, feeling a sense of pride deeper than anything he had experienced before. He had faced impossible challenges. But this was something else entirely. He had merged human ingenuity with alien life in a way no one had ever done. He watched as the larger dragon moved gracefully, testing its wings and flexing its claws. It let out a soft, rumbling sound, a mixture of relief, gratitude, and newfound strength. Its mate hovered near, glowing brightly. Energy flowed between them like light through water, strengthening both creatures in a cycle of life, trust, and mutual support. Jax's mind raced with ideas. If humans could work with dragons like this, what else could they achieve? What other mysteries of the universe could be explored? He realized that strength wasn't only physical. It came from creativity, understanding, courage, and the ability to connect with others, even beings from another world. Human. Witness. What is possible when mind and heart are united with life? The smaller dragon said. Jax looked at the dragons in awe. I never imagined I'd be part of something like this. Not just saving a life, but helping create something entirely new. The larger dragon stepped closer, its glowing eyes meeting Jax's gaze. It lowered its massive head, almost like a bow of respect. Jax reached out, touching the shimmering scales, feeling warmth, energy, and life flowing through his fingers. Human. Bond complete. Life restored. Energy amplified. Together, we are stronger, the small dragon said. Jax smiled, feeling a warmth in his chest. The dragons had not just survived, they had evolved, grown stronger, and their bond had reached a new level. And he had been the catalyst. Outside, the first light of dawn filtered through the valley, illuminating the workshop and the dragons in brilliant hues. Jax stepped back, taking it all in. The larger dragon spread its wings fully, the light reflecting off its scales like a prism, casting colors across the valley. Its mate hovered above, energy flowing between them in a mesmerizing dance of life. Jax knew this was more than just healing. This was transformation. The dragons were stronger, healthier, and their bond more powerful than ever. And he had been part of it not just as a mechanic, but as a friend, an ally, and a partner in their journey. Human. Remember. Potential. Greatness. Courage. Heart. Mind. All together. Remarkable. The small dragon said softly. Jax nodded, feeling a sense of purpose he had never known. He had always believed humans could achieve great things. But now, he had proof. Living, breathing proof. Humans could face the impossible, understand the unknown, and create miracles when they dared to try. He looked at the dragons, their energy flowing through the machines and into the air, creating a soft glow that lit up the valley. I never thought I'd see this, or be part of it, but I am, and I'm proud. Proud to be human, proud to help, proud to learn. The dragons responded with gentle hums, their energy pulsing in harmony with Jax's heartbeat. For the first time, he felt fully connected, not just to the creatures, but to something much greater than himself. Human, together, life stronger, bond eternal. Energy flows. Beyond stars. You have changed fate, the small dragon said. Jax smiled, looking at the larger dragon as it flexed its wings and tested its strength. Then, let's see where this can go. Together. The valley was alive with light, energy, and possibility. The dragons were transformed, their bond strengthened. And Jax had discovered something incredible. That humans, with courage, ingenuity, and heart, could do the impossible. Outside, the wind carried a distant roar, echoing across the cliffs. Jax felt a thrill run through him. Whatever challenges awaited, he knew he and the dragons could face them. Together, they had achieved the extraordinary. Together, they would soar beyond limits. And deep inside, Jax understood something essential. Humans had a power that could shine across the galaxy, not through brute force, but through intelligence, creativity, and courage. The dragons had been saved. They had been transformed, and humanity had proven its worth, not through dominance, but through heart and mind combined. Jax looked at the glowing creatures, his pride swelling. "We've done it," he whispered. "We've really done it." And somewhere deep in the valley, under the soft light of dawn, the dragons and Jax shared a silent promise that together they could face the universe, overcome any challenge, and create wonders that no one had ever imagined. The adventure was far from over. But for the first time, Jax felt certain that with courage, heart, and human ingenuity, anything was possible. The valley was calm under the soft light of dawn. Birds sang, the wind whispered through the trees, and the faint hum of the workshop's machinery mingled with the rhythmic breathing of the dragons. Jax Rill stood in the center, watching the two creatures he had grown to care for. They had been healed, transformed, and their bond stronger than ever. And now, it was time to face the next step. The smaller dragon hovered close, glowing with gentle light. "Human, you have done more than heal, more than protect. You have united mind, heart, and courage. You have proven humanity, potential beyond measure." Jax nodded, smiling softly. "I never imagined I'd see this, or do this. I just tried to help. I guess humans can surprise themselves sometimes." "Yes, and others will see. Your kind will rise, not by force, but by heart and mind. Ingenuity and courage." The larger dragon shifted, testing its wings fully now. Its eyes, bright and intelligent, met Jax's gaze. Slowly, it lowered its massive head, nudging him gently. There was a deep, silent understanding in that touch. A bond that could not be broken. A trust forged in fire, blood, and energy. Jax reached out and placed a hand on the dragon's shimmering scales. He felt warmth, strength, and life flowing beneath his fingers. "I've never met creatures like you," he whispered. "And now, I can't imagine my life without knowing you exist." The small dragon pulsed brightly, sending waves of energy through the valley. "Human, together. We have proven. Bond stronger than adversity. Potential limitless. Your mind. Your courage. Your heart. Remarkable." Jax laughed softly, feeling a surge of pride. "Thanks. I think we all learned something. You about me about you, and maybe humans about what they can do." The wind shifted, carrying with it a faint but powerful vibration. Jax looked up. In the sky, a few distant ships could be seen, far off, but visible against the horizon. They were watchers, explorers, maybe even other aliens who had been monitoring the situation. He realized then that the dragon's survival and transformation had sent a signal across space, proof of what humans could accomplish. Humyn. Soon, the world, the stars, will recognize your kind, your courage, your ingenuity, and all that can be achieved with heart, the small dragon said. Jax's chest swelled with emotion. He had always believed humans were capable, but he had never imagined this level of impact. He realized that this small valley, his little workshop, had become a place of legend, where human courage and ingenuity had merged with alien life to create something extraordinary. The larger dragon lifted its wings fully, their span enormous, glinting with vibrant colors of gold, violet, and blue. Its mate hovered beside it, energy flowing between them in a beautiful, mesmerizing pattern. The air shimmered with the raw power of life, restored and enhanced. Jax stepped back, giving them space. He had grown used to their presence, but he understood that they were not just visitors, they were creatures of the stars, meant to soar, to explore, to leave their mark across galaxies. And now, it was time for them to return to the vastness of the universe. Humyn, we offer you a choice. Come with us. Witness the stars. Share life beyond this world. Or stay, and your kind will still rise. Remember, strength comes from heart, mind, courage, the small dragon said. Jax thought for a moment. His life had been small, ordinary in some ways, but full of purpose. He had wanted adventure, yes, but he also loved his home, his workshop, and the humans who depended on him. Still, the thought of seeing the universe, of flying among the stars alongside dragons, made his heart race with excitement. He smiled. I think I'll stay for now, but I'll be ready, one day, to see the stars with you. Wise, human, courage, patience, timing. Remarkable, the small dragon said, its glow pulsing warmly. The larger dragon gave a deep, resonant roar. A sound of gratitude, joy, and freedom. Jax felt it in his chest, a vibration that matched his heartbeat. He watched as the dragons lifted into the sky, powerful wings slicing the air, their energy creating shimmering trails behind them. Their bond, amplified by the fusion of human ingenuity and their own natural life force, radiated across the valley. Jax stood for a long time, watching until they disappeared into the horizon. His heart was full of pride, wonder, and determination. He realized something profound. Humans had potential beyond what they knew, beyond what the universe assumed. It wasn't just brute strength that mattered, but intelligence, creativity, courage, and heart. The valley returned to quiet, but the air still seemed alive with energy. Jax returned to his workshop, where the machines hummed softly. He touched the conduits and sensors he had built, remembering the fusion of life and technology that had saved the dragons. A smile spread across his face. Humyn, remember, bond, courage, potential, greatness. You have changed the course of life, and the stars will remember. The small dragon's voice echoed in his mind, fading with the distance. Jax leaned against his workbench, reflecting on everything that had happened. He had faced impossible odds, healed creatures thought beyond saving, defended them against powerful hunters, and transformed life itself with nothing but his mind, ingenuity, and heart. He had seen firsthand that humans could rise to challenges far beyond their comprehension. The first humans to witness the dragon's energy, even at a distance, would remember it. Rumors of a human mechanic capable of feats beyond imagination would spread. Some would call it luck. Others would call it legend. But Jax knew the truth. Humans had achieved this through courage, intelligence, and compassion. He walked outside, feeling the breeze on his face. The valley seemed brighter, alive, with possibilities. He knew the universe was vast, filled with dangers, wonders, and creatures beyond imagination. And he also knew humans had the potential to face them, to learn, to grow, and to rise beyond the limits that others assumed they had. Jack smiled, thinking of the dragons, their energy, their bond, and the adventure they had shared. He realized that this was not just a story about saving a life. It was a story about humanity itself. A story of what humans could achieve when they refused to give up, when they acted with intelligence and heart, when they faced the unknown without fear. Humyn, your journey continues. Courage, ingenuity, heart will guide you, and the stars await. The small dragon said one last time, the echo fading into the horizon. Jack stood quietly, watching the sky. He felt a sense of purpose he had never known. He was a human mechanic in a small valley. But now, he was part of something larger. Something that could touch the stars. He understood that humans, with their intelligence, creativity, and courage, could leave a mark on the universe. He turned back toward his workshop, ready to continue his work, knowing that the dragons had not only been saved, they had transformed. And in the process, they had transformed him. He had glimpsed the potential of humanity, and he knew that one day, humans would reach beyond their planet, explore the stars, and face challenges no one had ever imagined. But for now, he was content. He had made a difference. He had proven what humans were capable of, and he had forged a bond with beings from the stars, a bond that would endure across time and space. Jax took a deep breath, feeling the wind against his face. The valley was quiet, peaceful, and full of possibility. The dragons had left, but their energy lingered, a reminder that humans could rise to the impossible, that courage and ingenuity could shape the universe. And somewhere in the vastness of space, two dragons soared, their bond stronger than ever, carrying with them the story of a human who had proven that heart, mind, and courage could achieve miracles. Jax smiled, knowing that humanity's story was just beginning, and that one day, humans would soar among the stars, alongside creatures beyond imagination. The sun rose higher, casting light across the valley. Jax returned to his workbench, ready to face whatever came next. The adventure of life, discovery, and human potential continued, and he was ready.